Introduced in patch 5.3, the Heroes Gauntlet is Final Fantasy XIV's newest expert dungeon and drops item level 475 armor and accessories. Players will encounter the Spectral White Mages and Trash Pools. They can cast Absolute Protect, giving all nearby mobs a defense boost if not interrupted. Players will first encounter Spectral Thief. Spectral Dream is a tank buster. Dash will create one or more tethers from the boss, leading to markers before a telegraph appears. Once the timer is counted down, represented by the green orbs disappearing around the boss, the Spectral Thief will leap to the tethered marker to execute its attack. Spectral Whirlwind is a standard raid-wide AoE. Spectral Gust is a standard spread AoE. Chicken Knife summons knives around the outside of the arena that shoot narrow Coward's Cunning AoEs after a short delay, similar to Magitech bits. The boss's telegraphs will not change orientation, which is helpful to keep in mind during the patterns with multiple tethers. The second boss will be the Spectral Necromancer. Absolute Dark 2 is a very wide conal AoE. The closer you are to the boss, the easier this is to escape. The first Necromancy will summon these Necrobomb adds that each tether to a player with a thin orange tether. These guys will follow you around and toss out a few weak autos until the boss finishes casting Twisted Touch, a tank buster. This is followed by Necroburst, at the end of which the Necrobombs will explode in a small radius wherever they died. 5 AoEs will appear and cover half the arena in goop before the boss casts its second Necromancy. These Necrobombs tether to players with beefy red tethers. After a short delay, they'll leap to you and bind you in place before the boss again casts Necroburst. Avoid being bound too close together to not overlap damage. Chaos Storm is a standard raid-wide AoE. The third and fourth Necromancy casts are back-to-back, and we will deal with both varieties of the Necrobombs at once. The thin tethers will die at the start of the Dark Deluge cast, which targets players with circle AoEs. Move away from these AoEs and any nearby dead zombies as soon as these telegraphs appear, as well as your party members, to avoid overlapping damage, as you will very shortly be bound before the boss casts Necroburst. The final encounter in the Gauntlet is with the Spectral Berserker. Beastly Fury is a standard raid-wide AoE. The first Wild Anguish will target a random party member with a stack marker. Notably, this spell gives players magic vulnerability up. The Berserker's Wild Rage cast marks one of the 4 cardinals of the cross-shaped arena with a large blue circle telegraph. Players will be knocked back from this telegraph, so orient appropriately. Arm's length is also effective here. Wild Rage will leave behind a crater, but standing in said crater will give players stacks of Berserk. Reaching maximum stacks, as indicated by the ticking marker above your head, probably leads to you killing your friends, because that's what Berserk tends to do in Final Fantasy games. Falling Rock places large red AoEs around each party member, which resolves into a Falling Rock. This is followed up by another Wild Anguish cast that marks each player. This is a problem because of the aforementioned magic vulnerability up. To compensate, we'll share this marker with our new allies, the rubble that just shaved our shields off. Wild Rampage will strike the entire arena with a high damage cast. To prevent this damage, move into the crater during the cast until it resolves. Remember to move back out. Finally, Raging Slice is a narrow column AoE. I hope you're enjoying patch 5.3, and I will see you in the next one.